Finally. Can't stand it, I can't take it anymore, not anymore. No one said that this wouldn't get easy. No one said this wouldn't get hard. Brush it off and roll up your sleeves now. It's a shot in the dark till you get what you want.
Boom, welcome on back to Season 4, Episode 2, Spiked College Football Show. What's going on, everybody? Your boy Johnny B is here. He went 4-2 last week on my picks. We don't have units only go up anymore on a podcast form. We're doing it on a TikTok platform. Just going to try that out. We went 4-2 last week on my picks. Fantastic. Not bad, not great. But now the week 2 matchups are here. We're ready to rock. We're ready to roll. But before we do that, let's introduce the guys. Let's talk about week 1. What's up, Rob? What's up, Tyler? JC is no longer with us. Just this week, he's hurt. Relax. The hot guy will be back.
He's on the pup list.
Yes, he's on the pup list. Physically unable to perform on a TV show. That's how bad it is, guys. Yeah. Fuck yeah. I'm drinking gin. You know, someone's got to drink alcohol on this fucking show, so it's me this week. I don't know. We weren't going to do hot takes, right? Just life in general. Life in general is actually pretty good. Better than last week. Let's fucking go.
Tyler, what's going on, bud?
I got a lot of shit to do, but I mean, I'm here. I enjoyed watching games all weekend, including Hawaii. It was magical. I get to do
Guys, listen, I've been doing a new thing. We're doing the pops you see in the background. You know, awesome. Listen, follow us, AJ's Dad 112088. Come get your pops on Whatnot. It's a lot of fun. We'll be doing that after today's show. It's a lot of fun. But listen, we're not here to talk about that. Let's talk about football, boys. Let's talk about the week 1.
Oh, I was gonna say which one.
We gotta dive right in. We have to dive right in. We have to dive in because I told you he was gonna do it. I told you he was gonna do it.
Which one? I think it's leaning towards me, Rob.
Dion. It's Dion.
Whatever that man does, he does it to the best of his ability, which is better than everybody's ability, because the best ability is availability. And if you look good, you play good. You play good. If you look good, you play good. If you play good, you feel good. You feel good, you live good. You live good, you live good. You die good. You die good. You remember good. No one cares. Something like that down the line. Listen, the man, Shiloh Sanders. Listen, I watched last year, and I watched Shedeur play. That was just how he played last year. Travis Hunter, that's just how he played last year. They just played against different competition, and I really wasn't that surprised.
Well, okay. I said this last week, and I will repeat it this week. TCU should be done winning games for the year. Sorry. I understand. Oh, man. Dion and the fam did a great job. Yes, they did. You lost at home after being in the fucking top of the pile.
They only had 6 guys back total.
And one of them was on the defensive side. Otherwise, it's been a complete rebuild on a now 118th ranked defense, which was 91st to end last year.
But
I get that.
Guys,
but
if you watch that game, though, if you actually watch that game as a football guy, you realize that Shedeur Sanders is a draft pick.
Yep.
Do you want to know what makes him a draft pick? He's so calm. Like when he's just calm. He always knows where to go with the ball. Even when he takes a sack, he's like, all right, well, I'm gonna get hit. I go down. But he's calm with the ball. He always puts the ball, even if it's not if it's incomplete, it's in the right spot. It's always to the right guy.
Oh, I'd be calm too if I didn't get any pass rush.
He got sacked twice, but I'm just saying he just looked. He looked. I mean, this is mentor, but I hate to say it. He looked like Brady 08-ish, like where just nothing can faze him, and I'm the point guard, and I'm going to throw it to the guys. All of their receivers are good, and their running backs are fantastic, all of them. And then Travis Hunter is legitimately Shohei Ohtani, like legitimately. And everyone's like, oh, he's going to get tired. Like all these morons that don't watch college football, like all the other college, oh, he's going to get tired, he's going to burn out. He literally did this and returned punts for Jackson State. That's what he did.
Yep.
So I don't understand, jerk. I don't understand. That's the wife. I don't understand like why they're saying, "Oh, he's gonna burn out." No, he's not. He's just that dude.
Because he's 175 pounds. Be my best guess.
So that's the issue is whether he can take punishment from all the different sides of the ball. But
No,
I'm just going to come back to...
No, listen to his coach. The thing is, who's his coach?
I know.
He's going to make business decisions to sometimes not come up and make that play in the run game. Let him get the first down, and that's okay. Go intercept the ball. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
Deion was the master at making business decisions.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's why he followed Deion everywhere, and I get that. Listen, I understand all the reasons why TCU should have lost that game, but how do we expect them to win a game going forward? All the same reasons why they go from one end to the other in fucking 3 months is the same reason why they are going to stay at that end for the rest of the year. I mean, what's their over-under that you put them at, Johnny? Your futures?
7.5.
3 and 7?
And I put him under. I remember I did put him under.
I know. I would put them under that. That's all I'm saying.
TCU
And you know,
is
it's
under
not,
7.5. And I have them winning 3 or 4 games.
I think they'll be lucky to win 3 games. But that's just me. Because you can't allow that to happen.
No.
But Shadur said he had like 510 yards of passing alone, right? Or is it total offense? I forget.
Passing.
I knew he broke 500.
Runner. Yeah, I don't
No,
think
I
he
know.
scrambled at all.
But that's why did he even scramble for anything? No. So 510 pure passing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yes, they will play weaker teams, but come on, man.
What are we doing? But hey, that wasn't the only story.
True.
Another big game that was last week. I mean, if you watch the game, yes, Clemson made some penalty. They did some stupid things. Turning the ball over is never going to win you a game on the road. Duke turned the ball over too, but they like beat them from the whistle to whistle. They just played their better team. Like they're better. Like the guys on the field are better. It's not an upset. Like that wasn't an upset. That was Duke's a better team.
But it's definitely Clemson is mid. And it's
Clemson, he needs to stop with this no transfer bullshit, dude.
Yeah, it's very mid.
It's going to happen to a better coach.
They are I hate to say they're like Iowa. Like they're now like Iowa.
He was also very mid. Holy
Just
shit.
mid. Like
God.
Clemson. Okay, I'm sorry this is going to be racist, but you're Clemson and your best weapon on offense is a white running back. Like what are we doing? Like what are we doing? Like what are we doing? Like you're better than that. Like I know it's a joke, it's funny, but like what are we doing? That you don't have any offensive NFL players. Like
Nope.
you're Clemson. Like what are you doing?
So I'm going to do a Dabo rant if I may.
It's over.
Well, I would like to do a Dabo rant because I've been pissed off about Dabo since he lost to a Jameis Winston-less FSU team with Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Like from that game onward, I've always been against that man, and it's just nice to finally see it come around. Dabo Swinney is a terrible game day coach. Always has been, always will be. But what he was always good at was recruiting. And then he bought into his own hype and said, I don't need the transfer portal. I don't need any of this stuff. I don't need to stay current with any of this shit. I said racist shit and my players still wanted to come play at Clemson, right? He thought he was untouchable. And that is what I've always despised about him, is that he honestly thinks he's better than everybody else when he is not. He's not better than Jimbo Fisher. Jimbo Fisher at least is better at calling plays.
Mike Elko was the best coach on that field.
Yeah. He put together 4 solid quarters of football.
Right. Well, and then Dabo lost his defensive guru because Dabo's not a defensive guy, and he's always been a shit game day caller. So he's literally burned every bridge you can think of. And I still don't think he's going to take the responsibility for what's going to happen this season.
I think they're going to be a 3-loss team this year at least. And you want to know what's another reason because of that? Because I know you hate it, Rob, but Florida
Well, I
State.
thought you're.
Florida State looked
I'm
good.
okay with it.
Florida
They look
State
good.
didn't look great in the first half, and then they decided they wanted to play football in the second half against LSU, and they punked them. They punked them. They literally punked them. And Florida State's always been a team where if they're winning in the second half, and they can let their pass rushers go, no matter who's on. Like they're a front runner. They get ahead like they're. I mean, Jordan Travis made some stupid ass throws in the first half that he got away with. One he didn't, but one he got away with. And then Johnny Wilson dropping balls. But then they got Coleman, who is a first round, maybe the number 1 pick. And
Coleman's
Johnny
actually
Wilson
good. Well,
started actually catching the ball, and then they just dominated. They just dominated them.
So
Dominated
Coleman,
LSU. Like Brian Kelly.
Coleman,
looked
well, where did Coleman play last year? He's a transfer.
Michigan State.
Yep.
Michigan State. Oh, and he torched Miami last year at Michigan State. So yeah, they got our number this year. But the reason is because of the transfer, because people like Keon Coleman show you how to do things. Like when we got our transfers, right? Miami's best receivers the last couple of years have been transfers. Or walk-ons.
Florida State looked like they were very beatable in the first half. And then they looked like Teflon Dons the whole second half of that game. They scored, I think, on their first 3 possessions, they scored touchdowns and then a field goal. Like Florida State, and now I hate fucking preseason rankings so much. If I was ranking right now because of what I've seen with the eyes, Florida State's the number 1 team in America right now.
Who's number 2?
They beat the best team. Who's number 2?
Yeah, who's number 2?
Based on what I've seen,
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know. Like it's Bama, Michigan, Ohio State looked like shit. Michigan struggled a little against ECU. Bama dominated, so maybe Bama. Probably Bama.
Maybe.
Just because of the domination. Like, I mean, yeah, they played nobody, but they did what they were supposed to do.
I mean, they played they played that team from Kentucky, so I guess you can't throw too much shade at them.
It's just I don't know. Like, I hate
USC dominated, right?
I hate but their defense is fucking bad.
I told you.
They're bad.
No, I know. I will. So, last week was some good, a lot of bad in terms of what I was hoping would happen. But Utah took care of business. Utah,
Florida.
It looked good. And I'm not saying look great. It just, Utah looked like exactly the team I said.
They were missing 8 starters, and I think 5 of them were on defense, too.
Utah was.
Yeah, 5 of them were.
Yeah. That's what I mean. And they allowed 11 points. My point is, Utah, I don't think is going to win the Pac-12. Maybe they will, but I think they're the reason why everybody doesn't get out of the Pac-12.
I'm telling you right now, because I told you before, it wasn't DJ. Circling back to Clemson, it wasn't DJ. DJ looked damn good, and you want to know their defense. I'm telling you right now, Oregon State is not to be fucked with. It was never DJ. It was never ever his fault. He balled out. He's a good quarterback.
It's just
he's a good quarterback.
Clemson didn't, adapt to him, which is what they should have done.
And because Dabo wants to play.
Name of the game. That Dabo Swinney's downfall will be his inability to adapt. And let's leave it at that.
All right, guys, let's go into anything else you want to recap week 1? I do. One more thing.
All right, go ahead.
I'm sorry to say this, Tyler, but fuck Nebraska. They're dead to me because, again, they do what they always do, and they're the New York Mets. They're cursed.
I forewarned you on this program, and yet you did not take heed.
Because they were the better team. Yet again, I bet on the better team. The better team, they should have won that game by 3 touchdowns, and that's not even hyperbole. That's not hyperbole. They were the better team. And again, they fuck it up again.
No.
It's fucking infuriating. And I'm not even a fan. But let's not get into that because Tyler will go down a rabbit hole that'll probably end up leading him to go in the garage and hang himself. And we don't want that right now.
No,
We do not.
I'm extremely optimistic.
Let's talk this week. Let's talk week 2. Let's talk the big matchups, boys. Obviously, there's the big one. Number 11 Texas is a 7.5-point dog at Alabama. Thoughts?
Who's the starting quarterback for Texas?
Quinn Ewers. He did get a little banged up, but he's okay. Against Rice, he got a little banged up, but he's fine.
I think
I saw the Texas fans were already pissed about how they were treating Arch Manning, and I'm like, I cannot handle you people.
Yeah,
No,
like,
they're terrible human beings. Like, don't.
I just
don't
can't handle the talk about the drama, right? Fucking.
So yeah, Texas.
You're an embarrassment of riches.
What do you,
An embarrassment of
do
riches.
do you think? I have my take here, and it might be contrarian. I think Alabama blows them out the water. And the reason because of that is because everybody and their mother is riding that Texas cock, just slaying it, like fucking double skiing Texas. I don't understand it because they're always back and they're never back. And Alabama has a chip. And you don't win money betting against Nick Saban. And their offense looks good. Their defense looks real good. It's Alabama at home, Tuscaloosa, the biggest game in Tuscaloosa in 10 years.
In 10 years, that's the big thing.
Yeah.
When they played Texas in Texas, that wasn't last year. It was the year before.
That was last year.
That was
last year. And so that was it was a home and home. Okay, good. I didn't know if they took a year off in between. So I remember that game, and I remember how it was a game of inches. Texas's defense showed up in a big way in that game, but they also had the crowd behind them. I'm curious to see how well Texas's defense holds up when the crowd is not with them, because they played on a lot of emotion last year and they did a really good job and probably should have pulled off the upset at home, fairly.
I think 31-13, 31-17 this week. That's what I think.
I think Texas will score a couple times.
It's that spot because everybody's talking. Texas and expectations go together like oil and vinegar.
And I just think it's too many points.
And I love Alabama minus the 7. We're not really talking gambling right now, but I love Alabama. I just do.
Listen, I picked Alabama to be that team, right? I was saying that they're going to be the one to kind of come out of the SEC, or at least surprise people more than they're talking about them. This is the spot to do that. And yeah, I don't know. I don't see Saban getting, caught with his pants down like fucking Dabo Sweeney. So we'll see. I'm more curious, if things don't go well for Texas, are they going to immediately pull Ewers and try to throw Arch Manning out there? Because that's a very Texas move. I could see that shit happening.
I don't think Sark would do him dirty like that.
Yeah,
I hope not. It depends on how. It depends on how much Sark listens to all the talk. But he did sign up to coach at Texas, which is all talk. So,
right.
That to me would be the biggest travesty.
That's probably the biggest game of the weekend. But I have 4 other games circled, and we're going to do one more game before we do. You guys realize that all 3 of our schools are in? They're in these 5 games I have listed, actually.
Yeah.
So we're going to get our corners, right?
Yeah, we're gonna do Ole Miss minus 7.5 at Tulane first, because that is a ranked game. I was wrong about South Alabama Tulane. I admit, hands up, credit me. I was wrong. Tulane minus 7.5 at Ole Miss minus 7.5 at Tulane. I have no idea what to think. Ole Miss played Little Sisters of the Poor, Sister Mary Elephant, School of the Blind. And Tulane looked really good against a team that's probably going to win 9 games in Southern Alabama. So I guess you take Tulane here. But I can also see Ole Miss going down there and being like, hey, little brother, we're going to fuck you up. I don't know.
I'm going to go with Ole Miss. Now, here's why. Well, I didn't watch the game, Tulane versus the Chants. But I did see that Grayson McCall still was,
No, they played Southern Alabama.
Tulane? Who did CC? Oh, that was UCLA.
Yeah.
UCLA, yeah.
But I saw that UCLA didn't put up numbers, even though they won. That
Yeah,
was
a close
very
game.
interesting. I was expecting a higher scoring game, honestly. I don't know. Maybe I'm
I
mistaken.
guess if I pick against the spread here, I'm going to take Tulane in the points, but I don't like this game at all. I can see it.
No,
Tyler,
I
you have
see.
any
I see
insight
Ole
in this
Miss
game?
pouring it on. So I see Ole Miss pouring it on. I mean, they're playing in New Orleans, obviously, but Ole Miss isn't that far away. So I don't think it's going to be really a home field advantage for Ole Miss. And it is a ranked game. I think that, Ole Miss is going to want to make a statement. So
I think that quarterback's a real dog, like Sam Hartman level type dog.
For Ole Miss?
What's his name?
No, for Tulane.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
for
forgot his
Tulane?
name. Fuck. Not Brown. It's something.
Here, hold on.
Hold on. No, I don't have
So-
my book.
But he looked real good, and I think it's going to be a straight boat race because their defenses aren't the greatest on both
I would say
sides.
definitely
Yeah.
take the over.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
going to be a boat race.
All right, boys, let's talk about the games we know most about. We'll start with the least important of all of them. Notre Dame -7 at NC State, and I'll tell you guys something. You know I love football. I have great eyes. You know that I see things. You know that I'm a savant when it comes to these. I am fucking terrified of this game. I am terrified of this game because I bashed Brendan Armstrong because he is fucking terrible, and he barely beat UConn. But
Yep.
it's NC State. Sam Hartman struggled against NC State. Yes, granted, that was at Wake Forest for 3 years. I just see this as a spot going into the Ohio State game coming up that it could be a spot where they get a little bit too press clippy. Hey, NC State's not a bad team. Honestly, I think if this game was played week 1, Notre Dame beats them by 30. But it's played here. And I'm a little scared. I'm going to take Notre Dame. I'm actually taking NC State. Actually, I placed the better, right? I placed NC State plus 7.5. But I think Notre Dame wins, but I think it's very close. I think it's a 3 or 4 point game.
So
It's that classic letdown spot.
it is, which is really weird because this is technically week 2. But you're
for them,
right.
It's week
With the-
3. Yeah.
Exactly. That's the thing. For Notre Dame, it's week 3. I am worried about you guys as well. Let's see if Freeman can get him ready. That's really what it's all about. That's why you double down on, the coach and his ability to prepare the kids because they're kids. So letdown spots work.
If you play this in a neutral field, like on paper, we win this game by 18 points every time. Like we win it but it's not. It's played with humans and emotions and
they're kids.
Momentum and the juju. There is a thing is juju, and I think we win, but it's close.
Yeah.
How good's your kicker?
He's good.
Hasn't missed
And you
one.
want to know what I really like is I actually have confidence in our quarterback to drive us down the field.
Is
to
it me or
win.
Johnny not talking?
What?
Johnny's talking, yeah.
Oh Lord.
Anyway, I think I have the confidence in Hartman to drive us down the field to win the game at the end, but I think it's very close, and I don't like it.
No, I agree with you. Like you're at the point in your season where like all the miscellaneous type mistakes are out the window, and you're almost to the point of let them play, boys. So I can see where the nerves are shaking.
All right, we're gonna move on, and we're gonna move on to Rob's game because I want to save Tyler's game for last because I have a lot to say in that game.
Oh Jesus.
Just like I have a lot to say in here. So 23 A&M is -4.5 points at Miami. I am betting my son. I am betting my girl. I am betting my mother, my dog, my balls, everything. Miami is going to win this game. They're going to win it outright. And there's 4.5. What has A&M done? They still haven't proven anything. They haven't proven anything. Miami has proven that just like I told you, they did struggle a little bit in the first half getting there. They have dogs on their offensive line. Dogs. They have absolute maulers. And the kid, I forgot his name, the running back is fantastic. The freshman. Van Dyke, when he has his head, Van Dyke, when he pulls his head out of his ass, which he did in the second half, is a Heisman caliber quarterback. And I think they do it at home with half the tickets sold. And I think that this is a statement win for the University of Miami.
Well, I mean, I'm going to the game, so God, I hope you're right. I do think there's going to be a lot of people out for this game. We don't have a lot of good games at home this year. We don't. So I guess we have Clemson. I guess that'll be a good game in theory. So people are going to turn out for this game. Will it be Notre Dame level when they were number 10 rolling into town? No, it's a 3:30 game. I think we're still in the afternoon. So,
and it's still hot in Miami. People are still going to be at the beach.
Yeah, I mean, we'll show up and we'll fuck around. Yeah. I guess what I am hoping to see is that we take the approach that we did in the first game, because last year when A&M lost to Appalachian State, right? I believe it was App State.
That was week 2, yeah.
It was week 2. App State just ran on them and ran on them and ran on them and ground them into dust. And all we did to Miami of Ohio last week, when we finally got our head out of our ass, was grind them into dust. Yeah,
you played bully ball.
We ground them into dust. And so I'm not saying that it's going to be that easy for us, but I would like to see 10 plus carries for each of those running backs, right? So, because it was, yes, the true freshman, he's awesome, but we have 4 bullying running backs to choose from. We have a closer at the end of the game when he's healthy who fucking ran through 3 defenders on his way to the end zone, and that's our number 4 running back.
Everyone's like, oh, it's Miami of Ohio. Miami of Ohio might win the MAC. They're not that bad of a team.
Yeah, well, if Gabbert there didn't run his mouth, they probably would have had a better game. But he had to talk shit.
And their defense had 9 guys back. Miami, Ohio is a good team. That wasn't a shitty MAC team that was, rolling out there. That was a good MAC team.
And so my thing is that our defense showed up strong. Do I think that we're going to be able to shut down A&M? Again, that really depends on how much fucking jockeying for position the, Petrino and Fisher are going to have on the sideline when things don't go immediately their way. So we'll see how much drama those two are going to conjure. But it shouldn't matter. They shouldn't get the ball enough for it to matter. That's what I'm wanting to see. I want to see us grind these motherfuckers to dust, because we can do it. You were right. Love our offensive line and the guys who are backing them up. They're all excellent. They all have a lot of talent, and they don't need to be out there every single goddamn play. But we need to dedicate ourselves to grinding these guys into dust. And if we can do that, then yeah, I would even say that we can win as many games as Johnny thinks we can.
Thoughts on this game?
I'm still I think Bobby Petrino's at the helm calling plays, and A&M doesn't want to admit it. But I would like to see how he calls the first drive just to verify, because I got some insight on how he does it versus how Jimbo does it. And I'm anxious to see, because I think Bobby Petrino called all of last week's game. Just A&M doesn't want to admit it. It's a conspiracy.
Why would it? Who cares if the offensive coordinator calls the game? Who cares?
I know. This is what I'm saying.
That's literally his job.
Nick,
hey, you want to know why Nick Saban's such a good coach? Because he's the head coach that manages the underlings. That's his, who cares? We still talk about Nick Saban.
Jimbo has no pride. We know that.
Anyway, let's talk about, speaking of game calling.
Oh, shit.
Colorado's offensive coordinator, I forgot the head coach of was Toledo last year. bro, I think his name was Jones. I forgot. Listen, who cares? He called a perfect game. Colorado, Nebraska. Number 24, Colorado is favored by 2.5 points. Nebraska going
It's
into
up to 3.
I got it at 2.5. Okay, so Nebraska plus 3 at Colorado. Listen here, guys. I was riding Dion, and I'm so down on Nebraska because fucking Nebraska, all they do is lose. But I live by a rule. I love Colorado, and I hope they win this game, and I hope I'm wrong. And I hope they're the best offense ever, and I love watching them play because it's so much fun. 92% of the money is on Colorado. I am taking Nebraska. I'm money lining it. I'm taking the fucking points because Vegas doesn't lose this.
That's what I've been saying.
Vegas doesn't lose this, and if they do, this will be one of the biggest losses they'll ever have because this will probably be the most bet game of the year. It is going to be the most watched game of the year.
Mm-hmm.
That game last night was more watched than any, or last week was more watched than any of the games last year, including the national championship game. I'm taking Nebraska. I liked what their quarterback did when he wasn't turning the ball over.
Yeah.
I really liked their defense. I think their defense can shut down Colorado. And I think it could be like a 35-31 game, Nebraska. And I really think Colorado's a better team. I want to root for them. But, dude, when everybody and their mother is betting, I can't. I have to be the other side. I have to. I think Colorado wins this game. But
Oh, I think they do too.
my normal head. Gambling head. I have to take Nebraska in the points and the money line. I have to. But I think Colorado wins. But I think Nebraska wins. But I think Colorado wins.
I'm going to say, because Nebraska gets 4.5?
Gets 3.
Sorry, 3? They get 3?
Yeah. And it started at, we gave 10.
It started at, they gave 3.
No, it started at 10. Negative 10.
That's how, but I'm saying last week it was at 3.
Right.
Yeah.
6 points
Tyler,
win. Bro, I'm sorry.
You know, your team's going to find a way to lose, but it'll be by 1 point this time. Like, that's what Nebraska does. The most ridiculous shit you can think of is going to happen.
But they'll cover.
I think they're going to. I think that Nebraska with the points, fine. I don't think Nebraska wins outright because Nebraska doesn't win outright. That's just where we've been living.
Like, do you guys understand what I'm saying? Where I think Colorado, like, hear me out. I think Colorado wins, but I think Nebraska wins gambling brain. Normal brain, Colorado, gambling brain, Nebraska.
Because of the letdown spot.
Letdown.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
All the money in the world is on Nebraska. Or it's on Colorado. Like,
it's on Colorado. Yeah. No. I'm 100% with you, boys.
And I'm going to be rooting for Colorado. My money will be on Nebraska. Sorry, Tyler, but I'm rooting for Colorado.
I'm just saying that the magic that we saw last week, you don't need all of it in order to beat Nebraska because Nebraska has its own magic. It's just the wrong kind. So all Colorado has to do is to do enough to kick a field goal at the end of the game to win by like a point. And that would totally suit all of the things that are happening. And so that is what I am calling is going to happen. Or maybe it'll be a safety. Honestly, with Nebraska's history, it's going to be a safety. Sorry, Tyler.
Tyler, take a couple minutes and tell me what do you think is going to happen in your game.
I think we just control the ball. Instead of, the typical option of when you win a coin flip, you opt to defer to the second half. I think we take the ball and we just run and just occupy clock. Because it's like
where they're hurt, where they're short is in that defensive line.
Mm-hmm.
And if you just keep pounding, like it happened, like they played good the first 3 quarters, and then you can see it got a little soft in the belly there. Yeah. And if you could do that early, get to him earlier, get to him by the second quarter, then.
And you got to keep things under control. You got to keep him nice, easy passes. Don't overdo it. Make the easy throw.
And he's going to be throwing to a younger, almost all freshman level wide receiving core. And that's the bit that scares me. But we got some speedsters. We got Malachi Coleman.
Yeah, but you're going against maybe the best defensive backs in college.
It's true. I mean,
so if they can run the ball,
but
it'll be close.
Yeah.
I think you'll be able to. It's just you got to mix it up enough. But when Sims has his spots, he has to be like Shedeur Sanders, right? He's just got to be calm and not go for the big throw, even though he's got the big arm, even though he's on national TV and shit. Like he's got to not compare himself to the people he's playing against.
He needs to play AJ McCarthy level, except good. Throw out slants and out routes for days. And
slants, out routes.
And not too many, just enough. Yeah,
slants,
just
out
enough.
Routes and swings. Slants, out routes, and swings.
I need that. It's just like we don't need the 75-yard deep ball, even though it was grossly under thrown each time. But it's just JJ McCartney at his best. Let's go. Come on.
So deep down, Tyler, do you think you can win this game?
It just depends on the possessions. If it's like 8 possession each with like 10 minutes left in the fourth, I'm going to be really scared.
Yeah. If you guys can keep it to like 5, 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Those are all of the big matchups, boys. Let's go real quick through these. Last week, I don't know if you guys kept track of your record. I went 5-4 in our picks.
So I don't know. So wait, what did you get wrong last week?
Where Johnny was wrong. Johnny was wrong in the North Carolina game. I picked Florida, but then I went back and I bet on Utah. So technically I was wrong here, but I was right in life. I picked Nebraska. I picked Coastal. And I picked South Alabama, but then I got all the other ones right.
Did we join you on all those? I feel like we did.
Yeah,
I think so.
I think
you talked us into
it. I got Florida State right. I got Colorado, Penn State, Washington, and Purdue.
Yeah, so I went way worse than you. I think I only got 3 right, maybe 4. 3, because you went 5 and 4. So I went 3 and 6.
I got the Fresno Purdue game. Yeah.
So then I think I went 3 and 6.
Let's make our picks real quick. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 14 games. Those are our big games. Those are like the marquee games. Like those are the top 5, but these are the other 14 games that we're going to pick. So let's pick them. This is not against the spread. This is just who's going to win. Keep track of your own shit. Colorado, Nebraska. I'm taking Colorado.
Colorado.
I'm going Nebraska. Yeah, man.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, and you should. You fucking should. I know Nebraska can win. It's just, get rid of that
And
curse.
here's another thing where I was wrong.
We pull it out.
I said Baylor was going to win the Big 12.
Oh, Jesus.
I apologize. Utah is playing at Baylor this week. Who do you guys have?
Utah.
All day, Utah.
I think it'll be close.
I'm taking Baylor.
I am not saying it's going to be a blowout. I think it'll be a very close game.
I think, what's his name? Aranda.
All right, Aranda
is not going to let this team go 0-2. Next game, the Battle of the Commonwealth. James Madison at UVA.
Yeah.
I'm taking James Madison.
UVA. Shouldn't, but UVA. We're here.
We picked this kind of already. Robbie took Ole Miss. Tyler, I don't know who you took.
Oh, I would have. Yeah.
I'm going to go. I'm taking Tulane.
Yeah, no, I mean, we'll see. Lane Kiffin still coaches there, right?
What's that?
Lane's still coaching at Ole Miss, right? That didn't change.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think he's going to want to beat up on the other ranked team since his old, the old master's going to be beating up on a different ranked team. I think he's going to want to show down just for that.
I'm writing our initials by the team so I can remember next week.
I appreciate it. I'm definitely not.
This is the battle of, what is North Carolina? The first in flight. App State at UNC. I'm taking UNC.
At UNC.
Yeah, UNC.
They
That is
absolutely could
that
pull
is
it
a
off.
consensus.
They could.
I'm glad I'm not looking at the point spread because I'm like,
I think it was 16.5.
Yep.
Oregon at Texas Tech.
Oregon. Didn't Texas Tech lose last week?
I'm taking Texas Tech.
Didn't it go to overtime or something?
Yep, they lost to Wyoming.
To Wyoming.
Wyoming. Yeah, that was a good game.
That was Texas State that did that.
No, that was Wyoming and Texas State beat Baylor.
Oh yeah, that's right. I got that backwards. Shit.
Oregon and who you have? Oregon and Texas Tech.
I'm going Oregon.
Okay, I took Texas Tech.
It's in Lubbock, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I'm.
Listen, I have a good friend who's from Texas Tech, but Oregon, sorry.
Wisconsin versus Wazoo.
Ooh.
And it's at Wazoo, isn't it?
I'm taking Wazoo in Pullman.
What's the line? I'm just curious.
Probably 6.5.
Let me see. I have it up here.
I'd go with Wazoo. They were very convincing last week, weren't they? They crushed what was it?
Cam Ward in Pullman.
6.5. Yeah.
Is it really? And I'm really good at that. And it's really hard to get to Pullman, Washington, if you've never been there.
Correct. So that's why I'm going Wazoo as well.
Wazoo.
Notre Dame at NC State. I'm
NC
taking
State.
my boy.
I'm going NC State.
Fuck you guys,
Only
but I
because you
don't blame
scared
you.
us.
No,
What?
fuck you guys, but I don't blame you. Purdue at Virginia Tech.
Hokies.
Is this the first game of the season for Tech? I mean, first home game?
I believe
No.
so. No. Last week was.
Last week was? Oh, that's right. That's right. We talked about Enter Sandman. I gotta go with VTech. I know they're on the skids, but
The Battle of the Cyhawk. Iowa at Iowa State.
Iowa State.
You mean the impromptu Republican National Convention?
Yeah, the Donald Trump is going to the game caucus marathon award ceremony.
Like after.
Yeah, they couldn't call it the Cyhawk. They should just call it the caucus.
What do you have? Who do you have, Tyler? I have Iowa.
Just because I want them to win Iowa State.
It's a rivalry game. I don't know. I don't see the. I mean, it's possible. Obviously, it's possible, but I feel like Iowa State's gonna.
I hope Iowa loses, but I think Iowa's going to win.
No, you're probably right. I feel like this is the game for them to pounce.
23 A&M at Miami.
Miami.
I'm taking Miami. Tyler?
Fuck it. I think A&M pulls it off.
Again, they're a higher ranked team.
Yeah.
They have a fuck ton of
SMU
talent.
at Oklahoma.
SMU.
FAMU?
SMU.
Oh.
I'm taking SMU because I really love their quarterback, Stone, and I think that Venables. Oh, look, we won so big last week. You played Little Sisters of Poor Sister Mary Elephant, School of the Blind. Give me SMU. Their highest rated quarterback of all time. I like SMU.
I love SMU. I want them to win, but I'm going to pick Oklahoma here.
Same, for that exact same reason.
All I want is Rhett Lashley to be great at everything he does. But
See, these are all pretty good matchups. These are good matchups. Like this one might be weird why it's on here, but Stanford at USC.
Oh my god, that's going to be interesting. Going to have
USC.
Stanford.
I'm picking Stanford.
I mean, look, so I
Run the ball. Run the ball. Run the ball.
Yeah.
here's my thing. I can see Stanford doing well in the first half. I don't think it lasts all game.
And I think they cover 29.5. I'm going to take the points, but
Well,
I think
okay, that's
I'm
the
just
whole
taking them
difference.
because I hate USC too, but I think I'm doing this just because I think it's a lot closer than the experts think.
That's probably fair. I will say
Tyler, I
that.
haven't gotten an answer.
Oh, he.
That's I think USC just air bombs, but it's interesting. I want it.
I want to see
See a 29.
Stanford win. Well, I really want to see Stanford win because of all the whatever coming out with Caleb Williams. It's his dad. It's not him technically saying, but like, oh, well, he may not go next year because he doesn't want to get drafted by a shit NFL team. And I kind of just want the life to kind of say, hey, maybe you should focus on this year to see whether or not you'll even go first overall. Maybe you should, fucking pay attention instead of worrying about next
Sanders
year.
go first overall. All right,
It's
Rob.
possible.
Texas, Alabama. I'm taking Bama.
Bama.
Horns down, fellas, for Bama.
Those are our picks of the week. Now, boys, let's wrap this up with a little bow. We're not doing drafts, but we're doing our lock, our game, our player, and our dog of the week. Everybody, let's give our underdog of the week. Which team is our underdog of the week that actually wins the game outright? Anybody wants to go first?
It's fun. I mean, you're leaving it up. That's nice.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. So actually, Tyler, you can go ahead.
Go, Rob. Go.
We
Black.
all picked Wazoo, right? We all picked Wazoo to win. So that should be the underdog of the week, right? They're an underdog.
They're at Pullman.
Rob's underdog is Wazoo.
We all picked them. So that has to be it for me.
Tyler, who's yours?
Kansas at Illinois. I think Kansas could possibly get the upset here with how Illinois looked last week. Jesus, Ted.
Yeah, you're not wrong. It was very disappointing.
My dog of the week is Texas Tech.
Fair. Lubbock, baby.
Who is going to be your player of the week? Who's going to have a huge week this week?
I think Michael Pratt at Tulane.
Yeah, that was his name.
Rob?
I'm not doing it. I'm not picking a Miami player. I'm not. I got to think of somebody else.
I showed some humility and didn't go Nebraska. Come on now.
Exactly. Come back to me, please.
My player of the week Miami offensive line.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. All right. I will go with Mr. Milroe of Alabama. Even though I do think it's going to be more than him, I think that he might get a lot more credit from people than he's been getting up until this point when he beats, that team that's been back for fucking 20 years. Whatever.
What is your game of the week? Like your TCU Colorado tournament? What is your most favorite game of the week? Like, what do you think is the best game?
The best game?
Yeah, what's going to turn out to be the best?
Most entertaining?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. Most entertaining game, in my opinion, should be Ole Miss and Tulane. Just based on how much we've talked about it. They're both ranked. Both they're going to try and throw up numbers. And I know Ole Miss is going to try. But since I'm going to be specifically at a game, that one better be the most entertaining.
Tyler, what about you?
I mean, it's kind of hard to gauge, but especially because Nebraska's going to blow and Colorado's going to blow the statistics out the fucking water. I think the ultimate most entertaining game is going to be when Albany goes to Hawaii. That's going to be entertaining.
Go Danes.
Love it.
And I am picking Oregon, Texas Tech.
Should be,
I think that's going to come down. I think that's going to go to overtime. That smells like an overtime game.
Believe it.
What is your absolute hard, fast, no lie lock of the week? Tyler.
Lock? Lock? We're talking lock?
I'll give you mine if you want.
Practice?
Go for
I
it.
have Iowa -3.5. The guy needs his job. They need to score. They need to beat their rival. Iowa -3.5. And if he doesn't, then Ferentz is getting fired.
He should have been like 5 years ago. He'll definitely fire his son. That's for damn sure.
I'll go
right.
Washington over Tulsa.
Who's playing Tulsa?
Washington. Michael Penix.
Washington.
Michael Penix throw
Rob?
miles around that defense.
I'm going to go with TCU at home against Nichols. They better fucking win. Jesus Christ.
You guys are both pussies and you pick terrible games. I understand that. Listen, that was our
I'm picking
episode
it because
this week.
I think TCU is going to lose because they lost last week with everything on the line.
That was a good episode, boys. Stay tuned. Listen, I know we do Units Only Go Up. Units Only Go Up is now on a TikTok form. Guys, I don't know if you realize this. We had over 10,000 views on our TikTok this week because of my picks last week.
Yeah.
A lot of views. So everybody, please go follow us on our homepage. I got to start blogging. I will start doing that. I've been bad. I start work this week, so hopefully I will get on that. Spike College Football Show. I am Johnny B. Go check us out on our TikTok, On The Card Sports, onthecardsports.com, on the OTC Sports 77, on fucking Twitter. We're all over Twitter. I bust balls. I have people hating me. Listen, we're here to give you guys entertainment, good picks. We're just a bunch of dudes like to drink beer and talk about college football. And we don't do it in the stupid little statistical, well, he has the best QBR. Well, he got the best QBR. Nobody gives a fuck about that. We say it from the heart. We say it from the gut. We say it from the nuts. We know football. We know ball. We're better than you. We're always better than you. I'm your baby mama's favorite gambler, your wifey's favorite bookie. I am still 4-2 this week on my picks, which means you're getting money, I'm getting money, we're all getting money. Go ahead, boys.
Go
Tyler?
on.
Of course. So, everything that Johnny says is true. This is only year 4, right? I still can't believe that. It just fucking blows my mind that we've been doing this for 4 years. We also drink gin, just FYI. And I'm going to be drinking a lot more than that probably at the Miami game this weekend. So I don't know if we have a Snapchat for that or not. We used to have something along those lines.
I can make one. Yeah, well, I'll make one.
Okay, for On The Card. So we'll have that posted as well. Or you could throw that up on the TikTok, whatever, once it's up.
I'll throw it up on the main page, and then Robbie better take lots of Snapchats.
I'm going to try. If I remember, if I'm not, depressed or whatever. So anyway, check us out. Invite us out to games. If you're like, our shit is better than whatever you have going on, you're probably right. It is Miami. We're, we play in an NFL stadium and we're not an NFL team. But you got to let us know so we can make that trip. Just like Tyler will be able to do it later this year. Right, bud?
Yeah, here in
And I'm going to be trying to go to a big Rutgers game this year. So let's keep,
Big time Rutgers game. Let's go.
I'm so excited for Pitt, Virginia Tech in 2 weeks. 2-3 weeks, something like that. I'm stoked anyway. So, I don't have anything else.
give us sponsors. Sponsor us. Let us talk for money.
Oh, Outback Buck Shack. Thank you, Jason.
Outback Buck Shack. Love those guys. Also, we're the best. Check out the TikTok. I'm very funny. I gave you guys winners. I just gave you guys winners. And I should have went 5-1, but we're not going to talk about it because you know what? Tyler's already mad enough. We're not going to talk about it. We're not going to talk about it. We're not going to bet on Nebraska anymore except for this week, which Colorado's going to win anyway. I hate the fact that I know that I'm right, but then I know that I'm wrong at the same. I fucking hate it. But anyway, boys, listen. Let's wrap it up. Let's put a little bow on it. Fuck Nebraska, but also I'm going to bet on them. And fuck Colorado also. I think they're going to win. Deion's the man. Peace, homies. Notre Dame will win. Thank you, guys. And as always, boys, what do we got to do?
Let's keep it spiked, people.
Keep it spiked, y'all. Boom. Play them credits.